What's up, everybody? It is your boy Don Juan, and I am here for another review, unapologetically. Welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning into the channel. If this is your first time here, please like, share, and subscribe to the video. If you are a returning family member of Unapologetically, the channel, thank you so much. Like, I cannot do this without you guys. So let me apologize. I know this video is so late. I was at BravoCon. So I was at BravoCon this past week. So everything was delayed. Like, I could not watch the episode until later. Then I need to have time to record the video. So I'm going to super apologize. I did meet some amazing people at BravoCon this week. Some people, I had never met. So before I even start this video, if you do not know, here we talk about things unapologetically. This video is for the new season of Real Housewives of Potomac, episode 2. I'm going to put the description down below. I'm going to talk about the newest episode that just aired, and then we have one coming up Sunday. That video should be on time, though. But before I talk about that, I would like to say I honestly met some housewives over this past week, and they were super nice. So I met a housewife of OC. I met Brandy Glanville. She was super sweet. When I met her, and she came up, we talked and had a good conversation. I also met Sutton from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. If you've seen my previous videos, I kind of didn't, I didn't know what to think of Sutton, but I did meet Sutton, and she was really sweet. And, we had some really great conversations. I met Ashley Darby also. So I thought she was really gorgeous in person, really sweet also. But, those were just kind of some of my newest housewives interaction. I did meet a lot of the ladies of Dubai. They are very pretty in person, and very big personalities. So that's kind of my BravoCon, new meets. Some other people I've known, but some other people I hadn't. But yeah, it was super great to be able to connect with people. It was a lot. BravoCon is a lot. That's a whole nother video. But getting into the bulk of what we need to talk about today, let's talk about the Real Housewives of Potomac. So, for this episode of the Real Housewives of Potomac, let me start by saying it is always a lot that I see that goes on with these ladies. I didn't realize that it was always a lot. As I told you, I'm new to the series, so I didn't know that every episode is so jam-packed with craziness. But what I do see is that it's always a lot. From this episode, I get Candace wants babies. So she's at the point in her career, in her life where she wants to have kids. So she's looking at freezing her eggs so that she has that options. I don't like to talk a lot about women and their reproductive, life, because, you don't know what they may have going on or may not. But she speaks a lot about the fact that she wants to have kids. She's freezing the eggs. She wants to do it naturally. But I guess if, she is not able to, or to maybe plan it more, she would like to use the frozen embryos or eggs that she does have to be able to have kids. She talks about the fact that Chris is now working. He is the GM of the W, this property, and she's not used to him working in this new role. So he's gone, and they're missing some of the time that they have. So she talks to her sister about his change in role and kind of them, with this newfound life. She's doing her thing, he's doing his thing, and so it's kind of blending this new world together. We then get to see Ashley, like I said, who I met the other day, and Ashley is having a play date. She is still in the house that her and her husband Michael live in, and she's having a play date with her friend who comes over and brings her child. And her and the friend start to talk, and Ashley tells the friend that she, is wanting to buy this house. Michael's going to help her. He doesn't want a yard. He doesn't want anything. They want to move forward with, the separation, I guess, divorce. And she thinks that he will move on pretty fast. Say what now? That means that this is already over. If you are in your mind already saying he will move on pretty fast, that means the relationship is over. She says that he will probably have another wife or another girlfriend pretty fast, and she may try to move on pretty fast, but that's a very weird conversation to me when they start to have that. I don't know. It feels very different to me when she says that. So after she's talking about how she wants to do this stilettos or this heels dance class. to kind of get back, active, doing some things outside of the kids. And, so I think that could be pretty fun. We then talk to Ashley, and Ashley is talking to Robin, and Ashley tells Robin that she got a DM from Chris the other night at 2:40 in the morning that said you should have come to the W, and she feels a certain kind of way about that. When I see the DM, I see it as a reply to the story. So I'm going to be honest. As soon as I see that it's a reply to the story, the DM takes a different meaning to me. It's one thing if Chris slid in your DMs and was like, hey, and it's 2:40 in the morning, why you ain't come to the W? It's a difference if you have a story and he just happened to reply, because I know for myself that a lot of times you may have downtime at, it may be 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, whatever. And that's when you start going through stories from the day, and that's when you may reply. But it doesn't mean anything further, if that makes sense. So when I see that it's a reply, I immediately take it as very much more innocent than it is portrayed, I guess, in that moment. I'm not her, so I can't speak of why she feels that it may be something deeper. But I take it a lot and more innocent. And Robin says she takes it more innocent, when she starts to think about this conversation. She's like, I didn't take anything of it. He said, may come to the W, but he didn't say anything further. He didn't cross the line. And I'm agreeing with Robin at this point. I don't take it anything kind of weird, and she's on that side of things. She has this conversation with Giselle. Giselle goes on to say that she had a weird interaction with Chris, in which at the reunion, he kind of stood around. He wanted to talk to her. So he asked about having a conversation with her. They end up going in her dressing room. She thought her glam was in there. They were not in there. She felt immediately uncomfortable about him having a conversation, complaining about his wife, or having this and being in a room with a married man. I can respect her having the feeling of, I don't want to be in a room with a married man and no one is in there, because that can come with its own things. People saying different things. Maybe they said that she came on to him. You don't know what comes with that, and it doesn't give you a good look. I'm 100% on board with that part. I do want to say that when she says that the way it made her feel, I have to respect that. But how she's saying that, her being in this room and what that looks like, she's been married before. And for her to kind of take this stance of, no, it should have, he should have known better. He blah, blah. It's like, well, if you know that you're not the type of woman that would do that with a married man, then you should know that you're not exuding that, and nobody would believe like you just walked into a room and, we're going to hook up with a married man or going to have some kind of wrong interaction. You should know, and you should know you're not exuding that. So that wouldn't be something that was given life to me. I wouldn't give that life. That can't have life if that's not who you are. So I think she's giving a little bit too much more into it. When she told Robin about it, it was one thing. And I think it just kind of was a weird kind of like, I get what you're saying and I understand what you're saying, but if that's not you, like, Karen would be like, oh no, he was saying something in the room with me. Like, they know I'm not that woman. They know, I don't know that she would take it the same way. So it was very interesting when, Giselle is telling this part of it. We go on further, and they continue to talk about this. They end up going to the stiletto class, and when they get to the stiletto class, Charisse, who is was on the show previously, she comes around. They're talking, having this conversation. They're honestly just telling Ashley, like, this is weird. This is very, very weird that you're wanting to buy a house with this man, and y'all are getting a divorce. And she's like, he's helping me to be able to do this, buy this house that I would like to buy. I think Charisse understands that. Everybody understands that. Giselle is still kind of like, I'm not feeling it. But I think she made a valid point. If he's helping her in that way, but it does still leave them tied together, which is, I don't know that you want to be tied to somebody that you kind of want to end it with, because in real life, he's like, well, this is our house. What happens when you want to date somebody? I think that leaves it very wide open. And it's weird. It's very weird. So they do have the dance class. I think the women look great during the dance class. Robin is a mess, but they still seem to be great. Everybody comes by. Candace is there. Charisse is there. Mia is there. Speaking of Mia, before I get to ending this part, we have the conversation where Mia is talking, and she basically says she doesn't have it for Giselle. She is gone. They think Karen kind of roll the fence when it comes to her thoughts of the Mia situation. I'm going to be honest. The Mia situation is very weird for me, even still watching it. Like, you get a biopsy and you still need further testing. If you're having a regular biopsy, then they're like, okay, maybe an autoimmune thing, or maybe it's, cancerous. But biopsies are usually the end all be all in a lot of testing when they come to find out, about certain things. So the way this conversation is going, I'm not the doctor, it still seems very weird to me. Sorry, y'all. It seems very weird to me that there are no final answers in this. It's like, okay, it's not cancer or it is cancer. If it's not cancer, then it may be some other thing that is going on and we're further testing for that. But she's not kind of saying that. I think she's kind of, I don't know. I don't know if she's lending it on. So for TV, so holding on. So then she can kind of be like, well, it's not cancer. I don't know. But every time that she is on the screen, I'm going to be honest. I am like, I don't know. It's giving a lot of fakeness. I don't know. It's just not, she's kind of quirky and funny, but it's just weird. It's very different every time, we have those scenes, with her. And so I want her to figure out this health thing and we kind of figure out what is really happening. Cause right now I'm like, you're just holding us in limbo. You know by now if you don't have cancer. You know by now. If I just don't feel like that's I don't know. It doesn't feel proper. But anyway. So going back to the ladies, everybody comes to the class. They're dancing, they're having a conversation, they're dealing with things. And then at the end of the class, Giselle says she wants to talk to Candace. She decides to talk to Candace and tell Candace about the reunion situation. I do not know why Giselle had not talked to Candace and told her about the reunion situation. Well, I kind of do, because they probably didn't have the cameras up in production. So she's like, I'll hold that and tell her later so that we can make sure we understand and get this out. It's not like we had some conversation off camera, so I can understand it. But you can tell that Candace is very defensive, just as she was when Ashley, and I didn't speak on that previously, had sat down and talked to her. And Ashley was like, I'm just telling you, because I don't want it to come off weird. And, we've had conversations before. And she appreciated Ashley and she said she would give her a pass. Giselle is having this conversation and she's not here for it. She like, I'm not doing this. You think he's like a brother to y'all, and y'all are trying to paint it out like he would be doing something, that would be improper, and I don't like it, and she is not here for it. She gets up and storms out, and that's not what she's here for. She's like, she want to talk to the executive producer, which is Eric. That's who she's referencing. She wants the cameras down. They're not going to put the cameras down. It's a reality show. Like, what are you talking about? I hate when people do that. You should have never signed up to be on a reality show if you want to tell them to put the cameras down. It sounds really dumb. But she, pulls him, into the other room, and she's like, y'all can play that with Michael Darby, who be grabbing ass and doing all of that, but you're not finna make my husband a casualty, is what she says. And that part is when they do it to be continued. I can see that this is her feeling like, nope, if this is the way the season's going, I'm not doing this. This is not, I didn't sign up for that. And she wants to protect her husband, and I think that that's respectable. But I think you still, as you're on a reality show, have to let things play out. If it's not the case, then you have to let them know that's not the case. You can't be willing to turn off the cameras because that's not the, nobody said he's touched them. Nobody said he's done anything to that regard. So I think you have to let it play out. Specifically as a person who's done reality TV shows, it's been things that I get it. The edit may look a whole lot different and you feel a certain kind of way because I've been in those situations. But when you sign up to do these shows, you have to let it play out. So I'm interested in seeing how this plays out going forward, because Candace is not happy about how she feels they're portraying her husband. She's not happy with Giselle about the conversation. And it's leaving, a lot of tension and a lot of things that can be said coming up. And so I'm really interested in seeing what they talk about this Sunday's episode, and if we're able to get past this conversation that Giselle and Candace just had, and how Candace is going to continue on in the season. So that is my review for the latest episode of Real Housewives of Potomac. I am going to be reviewing the upcoming episode, and I'm so sorry, y'all, that it was this late this time, but I'm going to try to continue to stay consistent and do the videos just as I said. Thank you so much for watching. I do not take it for granted. Please comment below, like, share. If you would like to purchase any merch, please check out thenewmeaning.com as I put it on the screen. We have some amazing merch. This is our unapologetically shirt. As I told y'all, we talk about things unapologetically. So if you would like to get this shirt, you can go to thenewmeaning.com. We have hoodies and stuff available. It's hoodie season, so make sure you grab that. And again, thank you guys so much for following this channel, loving on me on this channel, and coming over here to hear what I'm talking about. And until the next time, I am Don Juan, and thank you for watching Unapologetically.